We're not going anywhere. This is our home.
Imagine being in your 70s, holding onto the brass key to the only home you've ever known, as a landlord waves eviction papers in your face. The movers climb the porch steps, your neighbors film, and your dignity is about to be stripped away. But just when hope seems lost, 3 cars pull up, and out step your children, the very ones you adopted decades ago. What they do next turns humiliation into triumph. Before we begin, make sure to hit subscribe to Blackish Focus, like this video, and drop a comment with your country. Your support helps us keep sharing powerful true stories that inspire millions worldwide. Eleanor and Walter Brooks had lived in their small bungalow for more than 40 years. It wasn't just wood and brick, it was the story of their lives. They had adopted 3 children in that very home, Sarah, David, and Michael, and raised them with love, sacrifice, and dignity. Every wall remembered birthdays, late-night laughter, and even grief. The brass key Eleanor wore on a ribbon around her neck wasn't just for opening doors. It was a symbol of everything they had built together. But someone else wanted the house now. A man named Victor Halloway, a developer with money in his eyes and greed in his heart. He circled their block like a shark, snapping photos, writing notes, whispering about how the old folks wouldn't last another winter. It started with final notices slipped under the door. Then came certified letters, a contractor measuring windows, and eventually a sheriff's postcard setting an eviction date. Walter tried to show receipts, taxes paid, mortgage cleared, but Victor knew how to twist math and paperwork. He counted on the couple being too old, too tired, too vulnerable to fight back. Neighbors whispered, they'll be gone by summer. Phones were ready to record the eviction like it was entertainment. But Eleanor and Walter were not ready to let go. We are not leaving, Walter whispered one night. Not while I can stand. On a rainy morning, Victor returned with movers and the sheriff. Cameras rose from every direction. Some neighbors sipped coffee as though waiting for a show. Walter braced his cane on the porch steps. Eleanor pressed the brass key to her chest. This is our home, she said softly, though her voice carried grit. Victor smirked. Time's up. Cooperate, and this stays civil. The movers climbed the steps. The sheriff stood silent. Phones tilted higher. The couple stood alone, trembling but unbroken. Then, a horn cut through the drizzle. Heads turned. A black sedan rolled to the curb. The back door opened, and out stepped Sarah, their eldest, now a successful attorney. In her navy suit, she carried authority and purpose. Hold the eviction, she commanded, producing an injunction filed that very morning. Victor's smirk faltered. The sheriff's jaw tightened. Before the crowd could process, another vehicle appeared, a green military jeep. Out stepped David, broad-shouldered in his officer's uniform, medals glinting. His voice was low but sharp. Evicting seniors on fraudulent grounds qualifies as elder abuse. That's criminal, not just civil. The movers froze. The sheriff shifted uneasily. Then came a black SUV. From it stepped Michael, the youngest, a confident entrepreneur with cameras trailing him. Funny thing about markets, he said, flashing a crisp deed. I closed on the note yesterday. Mortgage is mine. Which means you're trespassing, Victor. Gasps erupted. Phones filmed every second. The children had returned, not as kids, but as protectors. Victor's bravado crumbled. He tried to argue, his voice cracking, but Sarah stepped forward with receipts proving every bill paid. David warned him about criminal charges for coercion. Michael revealed his ownership of the deed. In front of the sheriff, the neighbors, and the press, the eviction collapsed. The sheriff closed the file, declaring the case dismissed. Victor's face turned red. He stammered, cursed, then stormed back to his car, humiliated. The crowd jeered softly. Phones captured his retreat. Eleanor lifted the brass key high in her trembling hand. This key has opened this door for 40 years. No one, not greed, not threats, not lies, will take it from us. Cheers and applause erupted across the block. What was meant to be their humiliation had turned into their triumph. The children surrounded their parents, shielding them like a wall. Sarah squeezed her mother's hand. David nodded firmly at his father. Michael placed the deed into Walter's hands. "It's yours," he said softly. "No mortgage, no loopholes. No one touches it again. You gave us a home when no one else would. We're just returning the favor." Neighbors who had doubted now whispered with awe, "Raise them right. Blood doesn't matter. Look at that loyalty." Eleanor kissed the brass key, whispering, "We started with this key, and it ends with us keeping it." For the first time in months, the Brooks family breathed freely. Their home was safe, their legacy secured. And the story, captured by every phone, spread like wildfire across the neighborhood, the city, and eventually the nation. This story isn't just about an eviction stopped. It's about love that endures. About children who repay the sacrifices of their parents. About how loyalty and justice can outshine greed and corruption. It reminds us that family is not defined by blood, but by the bonds of love, sacrifice, and loyalty. What would you have done if you were in the Brooks children's shoes? Stand up to the landlord or walk away? Comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Like this video if their courage inspired you. And don't forget to subscribe to Blackish Focus for more emotional, true, and motivational stories where love and justice always win.